All right, plenty to get through. So joining me now is Sky News contributor James Bolt and Nova Radio's Michelle Stephenson. Welcome to you both. I was talking at the top of the show about coalition dysfunction. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had backstabbing, leadership leaks, all sorts of trouble. Now they've reached a deal to reunite. Michelle, is this unity, or can we expect more dysfunction as leadership turmoil continues?
I am shocked at what's going on with the Liberal Party. Like, it has been months and months of turmoil, and while this is going on, who is holding this government to account? This government has a free run, and Anthony Albanese is so happy about what's going on with the coalition, but it's really embarrassing. I mean, at the end of the day, they are losing voters. One Nation is surging in the polls, and we know why, because people are going, what the hell is the other option? We need a stable other option. And they're just not showing it. It's like a bad marriage. I don't know if it's going to get through another 6 months. Who knows? But I'm waiting and see. Yeah,
Counselling Australia have certainly got their work cut out
100%.
with this pair. James, pollsters have been saying they're desperate, as Michelle said, for a credible opposition. Does this reset give voters a credible opposition?
I don't think so. My favourite part of today was Susan Lee's and David Littleproud's statement, where they come out and they say the coalition is the most enduring force in Australian politics. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been going for about 10 hours now. So I don't know how enduring that is. I just think, has any part of this, to you both, felt at all necessary? Like, was it necessary to stand up against a bill that was always going to pass in the first place? Look, I didn't like the bill, they were right to stand up, but it wasn't necessary. Then it's not necessary to hand in your resignations, it's not necessary to accept those resignations and then throw the thing out. So the problem, like, maybe I'm pragmatic to the point of being a robot, but if the outcome is inevitable and the coalition was always inevitably going to get back together, then just get there as quickly as possible, because all you do is burn goodwill and emotional energy. Because you're right, like, as you say, there's been no holding the government to account. Now, there's an alternative universe, and I don't want to say that the rundown's wrong and that you and Saskia have put together. This is the big topic in the world, but there's an alternative universe where we're talking about capital gains taxes back in the agenda. We're talking about how Labor MPs aren't exactly thrilled that Israel's president is coming tomorrow. Like, those should be big issues in politics right now, but they're not, because the Liberals and Nationals can't stop talking about themselves.
I absolutely agree with you. And when I'm talking to Michael McCormack in a moment, one of the things I want to ask him is, was all of that necessary?
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
And I'd be intrigued to hear what he has to say, because David Littleproud, he is a fair and equitable leader. I actually really think he's good at leading the Nationals. So I don't understand where this disconnect is coming from, what side of the politics it is actually there. And at the end of the day, we all know that the only way to win is probably in the middle somewhere. And I don't know if the Nationals are going to sit pretty on the fact that Liberal Party needs to move to the middle.
All right, we'll come back to that with Michael McCormack and James Ashby shortly. I've got 20-year-old sons. Both of them are studying. One of them will be back at uni in a couple of weeks. But most uni students won't be worrying about assignments because, according to a new report, most of them are using ChatGPT, not my boys, you understand, but the others, to knock out their assignments in moments rather than weeks. And it doesn't seem like prestigious universities are doing much to stop them either. One Macquarie University told the newspaper today that, quote, "In my whole degree, I never had an in-person exam. That's why ChatGPT has gone rampant. It's just so easy to cheat. There are hundreds of AI sites for us to use and dozens of ways to mix them up to make sure we don't get busted. In our first year at uni, we're all too scared to use AI, but in the past 18 months, it's gone crazy. Now you can get ChatGPT to do your entire degree. In fact, you'd be stupid not to use AI if you want to do well." James, when you're faced with the temptation to use ChatGPT and universities don't seem to be checking too hard to find out whether assignments have been produced legitimately, is it just too difficult for students to resist?
It is too difficult for now. I am slightly optimistic from this report that there's a couple of self-correcting things that are going on there. Because one, if you use ChatGPT your whole degree, you don't do any study of yourself, you don't retain any of the facts. Can you imagine just the fear of walking into a workplace where everyone else assumes that you're qualified for a degree and you are living a lie? Like, that stress daily would just weigh at you. And I think that would, I mean, people will be blowing up their careers quite publicly, you know, lawyers unable to make an argument, doctors unable to treat if they're using AI, that the horror stories would circle down to future generations. And the second reason I'm optimistic is because Universities might not be checking, employers will. And employers are going to start going, look, if we get these young graduates out of uni that have only ever typed a question into ChatGPT, we're going to stop hiring people with a uni degree. We're going to start looking at apprenticeships or internal training. Then universities, they stop getting students. Now they're going to start cracking down on ChatGPT because the bottom line is getting affected. No one's signing up.
Michelle, you've got uni students using ChatGPT to do their assignments. I'd be shocked if uni lecturers weren't using ChatGPT or the like to mark assignments.
Yep.
Then you go for a job interview, and now employers are using AI to conduct at least initial interviews. Are we going to get to a point where I don't share James's optimism, where no one knows anything?
Well, I feel like there's a whole generation that are just going to have no neural pathways. I don't even understand where they're going to end up. And it's interesting, I have a 13-year-old son too, and a lot of his friends use ChatGPT in the school as well. And we're very lucky. We kind of tell him, don't use it. You need to start learning and thinking for yourselves. But what it screams to me at a university level is they don't care about the teaching of this generation. What they care about is how much money they can pocket. It is a money-making exercise, and they really need to step up and do the work that gets people educated. And I think that they're not doing that. They're just lazy. It's lazy.
That's a really great point. All right, one more topic before I let you guys go. I've got to ask you about Chris Bowen and his desperation to host the COP Climate Summit here in Australia, which, of course, we missed out on to Turkey, but not before spending $1.6 million to send 75 officials to Brazil. That's around a cost of $50,000 a head. James, is that money well spent? I suppose Chris Bowen is now the president of negotiations at the next climate summit in Turkey. So it's not like we didn't get anything for our money.
Yeah, we got the ability for Chris Bowen to not be in the country. I think all of us would have put the hat around for something in that vicinity. I'll tell you what, James, on the way in today, I decided to look up what the cost of a really good Zoom membership could have been. If we wanted to send, like, you had all these people that are very climate, they're warriors, they want to do the right thing for the country, they want to do the right thing for the world, they want to do the right thing for the environment. Surely the act of flying to Brazil would be just so antithetical to everything they stand for. They would rather stay home in their offices, preferably at home where they're not doing a thing. And I looked it up, it was $27 a month. So you just think, wow, for just $27 a month, we could have had all these people stay home and contribute to that conference instead of all the money that we've spent.
And we know how much
better would that have been?
We know how much public servants love to stay at home too. So, everyone
would have won. And Chris Bowen would have gone to Turkey. I mean, everyone could have won.
All right, Michelle, the government also spent almost $400,000 to help groups like, let me list them for you, the Aboriginal Carbon Fund, the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, and the Women's Environmental Leadership Australia to get to Brazil. How important was it that these groups got there to negotiate on
so
their behalf?
important. I mean, where would we be if these groups weren't there to make sure that we're saving the world? And our part-time energy minister, I'm so happy that he's also helping us save the world at a cost of a lot of money to the taxpayer. I mean, again, and this is where the coalition fighting is real problematic, because things like this are not being called out. They have a free run. How are they just allowed to spend all this money? I mean, Chris Bowen, we have an energy crisis, and he's over there peacocking and swanning about and going, look at how much we are doing and contributing to the environment. It is a rort, and it's time that it stops.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to you both, Michelle and James. Appreciate your time.